All right, everyone. Namaste and welcome
Namaste.
Namaste.
to day two of the OM workshop. All right. So let's begin the session with a little centering of the mind. Bring your hands on your heart. Close your eyes. Take few deep breaths in and out. Settle down. Stabilize your body. And begin to notice your breath. Try to connect with your breath. Allow your mind to settle down slowly along with the breath. Now rub your hands together and place them on top of your eyes when you feel the warmth in your hands. All right. Okay, everyone. Any questions from the previous day, yesterday's session, before we uh, take it forward? Anything what we discussed yesterday? Understanding the symbol of Om, all the curves and the crescent and the dot. Okay, all right. So we are going to look at the meditational value of Om today. And then we will also look at how chanting Om influences the body and the mind. So in other words, we will be looking at the benefits of chanting Om. Okay. And before we start, we are going to again revisit the A, U, and M chanting. So sit with your back upright. We are going to chant each syllable, each letter three times. So A, U, and M three times. Okay. And let's see how this goes as compared to yesterday's practice. Okay. You can bring your hands in your lap or on the knees. Back is upright. You can close your eyes or leave them open. Maybe drop the eyelids, soften the eyes. First, the sound of ah three times. Take a deep breath in. Right. You can turn on your cameras and mute yourself if you want. So, how was this practice today as compared to yesterday? Um, how the vibrations you were able to feel them? How much? Or is it the same as yesterday?
The you and I could feel, but the ow, I think I still don't feel in my belly button. I think
Mhm.
that's the difference I could sense from yesterday.
Great. And what about the M, the M part?
Yeah, more part I could feel it in my head or in my face. Yeah.
Good. That's Ashwita, right?
Yes, it's Ashwita.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I
Anything?
had I had the same experience. I didn't feel the but it was even stronger and vibrating in my ears as well as from my eyes up.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Anyone else?
I think the ums are the best. Like the M, yeah.
I think
Like
the M sound is the most prominent. You can very easily feel it. Yes. And as you go down, like the in the chest, the U sound and the A sound is the most difficult to assess. But sometimes we miss it actually because we are paying more attention to it. We are expecting something, and in that process we miss it. So try to relax when you are chanting the part, the awe part, and then try to relax your belly muscles also. Sometimes it is there, but it is very subtle. It is very, very low, and we miss it. So, but keep trying. You will be able to find it very easily. Okay, let's move on to the meditational value. And before I start talking, I'm going to ask everybody a question. Um, we see, and we have already practiced, we chant Om before and after a yoga session, maybe a meditational session. And if we also hear chanting Om at the beginning and end of the prayers, any kind of prayer and any kind of mantras also. Om syllable is associated with various mantras also. Why?
I'm thinking it clears the space of any negative energies around.
Okay, that's very nice. Anyone else?
I think it centers you.
That's great too. Yes, yes, it does center you and it clears the space in and around you. So those are correct, very correct answers. It helps the practitioner to transition very easily into mindful state.
Yep.
So that obviously can happen if the air in and around you is cleansed or cleared out, and then it also helps you to connect with yourself. It becomes really very easy to connect with the breath once you are mindful. So that's one reason why before a practice it's advisable to chant, and after a practice also to maintain your mindfulness for a longer time. So we chant before and after. Okay. Now, this sound, the meditational value of this sound is something what we just, how you all answered. And it also harmonizes the body mind. It helps in focusing. And it, like I said, it easily aligns the mind with the breath. And this connects the practitioner to the universal cosmic energy, and it can, regular practice can lead to spiritual awakening. Um, this chanting, Om chanting, is used freely in Buddhist cultures, also in Buddhist traditions, and also in Jain traditions. So it's not only limited to only one kind of tradition. So they use it in a different way, but it is used freely in Buddhist and Jain traditions also. Now, I just came across this very great example while I was researching for Om, how it can affect us, like the spiritual awakening part. Just like, let's say we put an iron rod in a fire, and after some time, the temperature of the iron rod becomes the temperature of the fire. So it is as hot as the flames of the fire, right? If you consistently keep that iron rod in the fire. In the same way, if you consistently keep yourself in contact with the energy of Om, you become that energy. So you become as powerful as the vibrations of Om. So it all depends how much you are in contact with this absolute energy, which is Om, and which means in layman's language, how much you are chanting and how much you are meditating on it. The more you chant, the more you are able to spiritualize your life, and the more you will be able to experience the vibrations, the strong vibrations that this Om is considered to be having naturally. Okay. And now coming to how it influences our body and mind, the benefits of it. So if you want, anyone wants to write down, I will be talking very slowly. You can make notes for yourself. It benefits at all the levels, at the physical level, mental, spiritual, emotional level. of a human being. Now, as we already know, it has cleansing powers. The vibrations, the sound of Om has cleansing powers. Now, how is it going to cleanse the body and mind? By clearing the blockages. It could be a physical blockage, it could be a blockage in the vessels, in the arteries and the veins at the physical level. It could be an emotional blockage or mental blockage that we have kept for a long, long time. And it is blocking our good energy, doesn't allow the energy to freely flow in the mind and body. The chanting helps in that way also. It also has transformative powers. Now, transformation of genetics, like I talked about yesterday a little bit, it can really change the genetics of a human being. But again, it has to be a regular practice. Now, when we chant, the vibrations that are created, which we are trying to figure out in our body, they resonate through the body, all over the body, and when they resonate throughout the body, they have a calming effect on the mind and body. So this calming effect happens due to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming the mind. So when we chant, we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system in the body, and that leads to the calming effect. And when we chant and that calming effect sets in, the mental clutter is taken care of, and the purification happens. Purification of the body and the mind by clearing the blockages, by calming the mind, and by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So everything is interlinked. It all starts happening once you start chanting and consistently, not once or twice a week. It has to happen like once or twice a day, every day. Okay. This reduces the stress levels, and it reduces the anxiety levels. It lowers the heart rate to a very, very healthy level, and it activates the vagus nerve. We are going to talk about the vagus. It is also called vagus, and it is also called vagus. And tomorrow we are going to learn more about it. Why it is sometimes called vagus and sometimes vagus. We will talk about that also. So it activates the vagus nerve, and it is very crucial in calming the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and it is it develops a huge amount of concentration. And the person, the practitioner who regularly chants, likes to stay only with themselves. That kind of effect it has on the person. So, not in a selfish way, in the way, in a detached form. They just want to stay with themselves. So, not get into any kind of mess of the external world, right? Yeah, so there is something called HRV, heart rate variability. So the higher the HRV, the healthier the heart is supposed to be. So now the chanting of Om is also associated with better heart health and overall well-being. So it increases the HRV part, which is it increases the heart rate variability. Now, if you want to understand the heart rate variability, um, the let's say when let's look at the two beats of a heart, right? So, how much time it takes for the heart to go from one beat to the other, and whether that time is consistent or it is varying every time. Sometimes it shortens, sometimes it lengthens, which means the heartbeat is irregular. Now, this, when it becomes consistent and the HRV increases, that's when it is considered to be a healthy heart, right? So chanting can increase the HRV to a very healthy level. Okay. And we also discussed this yesterday that silent chanting is the highest form of chanting. Sound chanting, like saying out aloud, is good, very good as well. But the silent one takes over the sound chanting. So if you want to silently keep chanting inside your head throughout the day, doing your chores, nobody would know, but you are still chanting. And this will give you all the benefits that we have just discussed. And it's going to influence in a great way your body and mind, right? Now, there are three things while chanting which we need to take care of. One is the jap. It's a Hindi word, it's a Sanskrit word. I'm going to translate this into English. One is the jap, one is tadarth, and one is bhavna. Jap is repeating. So we are repeating the sound. Every time we say om, then we say om, and then we say om, like few seconds or few minutes, right? This is called the jap. We are repeating it. The second one is tadarth. Tadarth means to know the meaning of it and then chant it. One is we are ignorant about the effect and the meaning of something that we are repeating, and we just keep repeating because we have been told to do that, or we just want. Superficially, we know it is useful for us and we start practicing it. But to know the meaning of it, going to the depths of it, what it means, how it affects our body and mind, and then repeating as a chant has a different effect. And the third one is bhavana. Bhavana means feeling with emotions. So if you are chanting with full emotions and very genuine and sincere feeling, it has an entirely different effect on the body and mind. So these three elements, jap, tadarth, and bhavana, which is repeating. Jap means to repeat consistently, and tadarth is to repeat with keeping the meaning of it in your mind. And bhavana, to have sincere feelings towards your chanting while you are chanting. This can take your chanting and your meditation to a different level. It's just like very simply, if we want to understand this, we are following something in life or a subject, let's say English, right? So first we want to teach ourselves the alphabets. We keep repeating the alphabets A, B, C, D, and X, Y, Z, right? Now, second is the meaning. Know the meaning of the words, the alphabet, what A stands for, what B stands for, and X, Y, Z. And now, when we have that picture in mind of the meaning, we are able to actually remember all the alphabets much better. And then, when we are dedicated towards knowing that language, then it becomes really easy for us to understand and to follow. So that's the how we can relate it to our everyday lives, right? Repeating, knowing the meaning of something, which means going in depth, and then having sincere feelings towards your practice. It could be a yoga practice, it could be meditation, it could be chanting, anything, right? Okay, all right. So any questions? And I have two very, very interesting videos to share with you, which I have kept it to the last. So before I proceed, any questions or anything you want to share about what we have discussed today? No?
Rupa, so from what you're saying, should we be chanting internally before we practice yoga when we come to class? To sort of set an expectation or a meaning or a commitment to the class?
You can do that. Yes, for sure.
Do you do that when you start a class, start teaching? Just
I
curious.
Yeah, I don't chant regularly, but I do meditate before I leave home to set my day, like I do. Yes. And about meditations, I sit down repeatedly during a day. It's not for a long time, so it's a kind of mini meditations throughout the day. Like it could be a minute, and sometimes I lose track of time. It can lead to 10 to 12 minutes also, but it all depends. But I don't count it every time how much I sit, but um, it has become a need of the body and mind now. So every now and then, whenever I have a gap between my chores and activities, I just sit down wherever I can find a seat and
Okay, bye-bye. Yes.
center myself. Yes. And in that, it could be anything. It could be simple silence, it could be silent chanting, or it could be connecting with the supreme power. It could be anything. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mini meditations is you try it for a week every day, just sit down for a minute or 2 minutes or maybe 30 seconds even repeatedly, and it creates a lot of difference.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Anybody else? Okay. No more questions? All right. So I'm going to share this screen with you, or maybe we can do this. We can first chant again, and then we can end the session. I end the recording part of it, and then we see the video. Okay. All right, everyone, chanting again. A, U, and M, 3 times each letter. And now again, don't keep an expectation from yourself and simply take your attention around your belly button. The A sound, the A sound affects the abdominal cavity. So it could not be exactly around the belly button. It could be a little flared up to the side also, but it should be in the abdominal cavity somewhere. So simply keep your attention, very subtle attention, and notice. Okay? All right. Rub your palms together and place them on top of your eyes. Okay. All right. So namaste everyone for attending this today. Let me stop the recording and then we will proceed from there.